Good morning everyone. Today we'll be reading about canal lining. So in the previous slides we have been discussed about what are the cross section of the irrigation canal, what are the components of the irrigation canal, okay, and the components are side slope, berm, freeboard, bank, service road, back berm, spoil bank and borrow pit. Okay, so we have also discussed all of this one by one. Okay, so this is the important questions in your exam. Okay, so please read it carefully. So today we will be reading about canal lining, an impervious layer which is provided at the bed and sides of the canal to increase the life, discharge and hydraulic efficiency of the channel is known as lining. Canal lining means the earthen surface of the channel is lined with a stable lining surface such as concrete, tiles, stones, etc. So, what are the functions of the lining? First function is to control the seepage, prevention of the waterlogging, increased hydraulic efficiency, increased resistance to erosion or abrasion, reduction in cross-section area, low operation and maintenance cost. Okay, so these are the functions of the canal lining. So next we will be reading about what are the requirements of the canal lining. First is economy, structural stability, strength and durability, repairability and easy maintenance, maximum hydraulic efficiency, impermeability, resistance to erosion, ability to prevent the weed growth. Okay, so these are the requirements of canal lining. So next we will be reading about what are the types of canal lining. So there are two types. First is hard surface type lining. So second one is earth type lining. So in the hard surface type lining, under the hard surface type lining there are cement concrete lining, shotcrete lining, precast concrete lining, cement mortar lining, brick lining, stone blocks lining, asphalt lining. Next in earth type lining, there are some types, that is soil cement lining, clay puddle lining, sodium carbonate lining. So these are all the types of lining. So we will be reading all of this one by one. Okay. So next we will be reading about cement concrete lining. It has a high initial cost, so its use is limited. It has excellent hydraulic properties. The thickness varies from 5 to 10 cm for M15 concrete and 7.5 to 15 cm for M10 concrete. A subgrade is prepared and compacted. Subgrade is saturated to a depth of 30 cm in sandy soil and 15 cm in other soils. Lay of base coat of 1:4 cement and sand slurry on the subgrade. Sprayed oil, pepper or crude oil on the subgrade. The concrete is usually laid in the alternate blocks. So this is all about the preparation of the cement concrete lining. So if we use M15 grade concrete grade, so the thickness will be 5 to 10 cm, and if we take as M10 grade, the thickness will vary from 7.5 to 15 cm. Okay. So next we will be reading about shotcrete lining. The shotcrete consumes the large amount of cement. The cement and the sand is in the ratio of 1:4 is shot at the subgrade through a nozzle. The thickness of this type of lining varies from 2.5 to 6.5 cm. The shotcrete is also used for repair of old but sound concrete lining. So you can see the images here, okay, of the shotcrete lining. The cement and the sand is in the ratio of 1:4 in the subgrade, and the thickness will be vary from 2.5 to 6.5 cm. Okay. So next we will be reading about precast concrete lining. So in the precast concrete lining, this consists of precast slabs which is usually of 90 cm into 30 cm in size. The thickness of each slab varies from 5 to 6.5 cm and the blocks are manufactured with an interlocking arrangement. slabs are laid on the well prepared and compacted subgrade. And you can see the diagram of precast concrete lining here. You can see, and the thickness of the precast varies from 5 to 6.5 centimeter. Okay. Next, that is a cement mortar lining. It is usually used as a sandwich material between the brick layers. The thickness for this type of lining is kept from 1 to 4 centimeter. A large amount of cement is consumed in this type of lining, and thus it is quite costly. And it is the picture you can see here. This is the cement mortar lining, and this thickness of the cement mortar lining may vary from 1 to 4 centimeter. Next is brick lining. It consists of a single or double layer of the brick masonry. The size of the brick is restricted to 30 into 15 into 5 centimeter for convenience of the handling. This type of lining has been used in Punjab on Bhakra and Haveli canals. It is hydraulically as efficient as concrete lining. In case of failure, the repair can be done easily. You can see here, if the failure occurs, this can be done easily. Okay. And next is asphaltic lining. It is a controlled mixture of asphalt and grade aggregate mixed and placed at the high temperature of 200 degrees Celsius. It is covered with 30 centimeter layer of earth material for protection. The mix is placed either by hand or by an equipment similar to that of the concrete. You can see here, this is the asphaltic lining, and it is mainly covered with a 30 centimeter layer of the earth material. Okay. Next, that is soiled cement lining. In this, the mixture is proportion of 90 to 95% of soil and 10 to 5% of cement is thoroughly mixed, dry, and then added with the water to raise the moisture content to optimum. It is therefore placed on the subgrade and properly compacted. In USA, the plastic soil cement has been used with a higher consistency to get a faster rate of construction. Okay. So you can see the image of the soil cement lining here, and in the USA, the plastic soil cement has been used on the higher consistency. Next, that is the clay puddle lining. Clay puddle lining is mainly produced from the clay. As you can say, the soil is known as clay. By first exposing clay to weathering, it is then mixed with the water to bring it to the saturation and is pugged thoroughly under man's or kettle's feet. Lining thickness is 30 centimeter and it is then protected by the earth material. Okay. So this is all about the clay puddling. You can see the images of the clay puddling here, and its thickness is about 30 centimeter. Okay. Next is sodium carbonate lining. The mixture consists of a clay soil and sodium carbonate in a proportion of 10% clay and 6% sodium carbonate, and the thickness is kept as 10 centimeter. This type of canal is used on a small canals. Okay, this sodium carbonate lining, it is used as a small canals and the thickness is 10 centimeter about. Okay. Next is stone block lining. This consists of undressed stone block set in the mortar and laid over a prepared subgrade. The lining is able to check the seepage effectively but has a considerably resistance to water flow. Dressed stone block lining is effective but costly. So you can see here the stone block lining images here. Okay. Next, that is advantages and disadvantages of canal lining. So it prevents the water seepage through the surface of the canal. It helps in preventing the waterlogging. It increases the discharge capacity of the channel, increases the channel life and reduces the maintenance cost, increases the gross area under cultivation. Silting is prevented as velocity is increased the available head for the power generation due to the flatter gradient. This is about advantages of the canal lining. Next, we will be reading about disadvantages of the canal lining. Heavy initial investment is required. Difficult to shift the outlets as lining is permanent. Difficult to repair the damaged lining. berm is absent. If berm is absent in the lined channels, so to safety to vehicular and pedestrian traffic gets reduced. Okay. So this is all about the advantages and disadvantages of the canal lining. This is all about this chapter. Thank you.